If you're enjoying this podcast, explore The Calm Operator, a practical survival guide by Steve Barker, published by Books Central. Built for pressure, it helps you stay composed, think clearly, and act effectively in outdoor, urban, and emergency situations. Find the book on Amazon or through the Books Central website. When most people imagine survival, they think about fire, water, or finding food. But in reality, one of the first priorities in any emergency is survival shelter. If you can protect your body from wind, rain, cold, heat, and ground exposure, you dramatically improve your chances of staying calm, conserving energy, and making better decisions. Shelter is not just about comfort, it is about keeping your core temperature stable and buying yourself time. The first thing to understand is that shelter starts with observation, not construction. Before you build anything, pause and read the environment. Look for signs of wind direction, rising water, dead branches overhead, insect activity, soft ground, and natural features that could help or harm you. A good survival shelter is never just placed randomly. It is chosen with intention. Even a simple lean-to, debris hut, tarp setup, or natural windbreak works better when it is positioned to reduce exposure and make use of the terrain around you. The next principle is insulation. In survival, the ground can be just as dangerous as the weather above you. Cold ground pulls heat from your body fast, especially at night. That is why a proper survival shelter needs a sleeping surface, not just a roof. Dry leaves, pine boughs, grass, bark, a pack, or even layered clothing can help create a barrier between you and the earth. If you are wet or sweating, change into dry layers if possible. Clothing and shelter should work together as a system, trapping warmth while still allowing enough ventilation to avoid condensation. Another major factor is simplicity. In a real emergency, the best survival shelter is often the one you can build quickly with the materials available. Fancy structures look impressive, but time, energy, and weather conditions matter more than appearance. A shelter should be realistic for your skill level and the environment you're in. In cold conditions, the goal is to retain heat and block wind. In hot environments, the goal shifts to shade, airflow, and reducing direct sun exposure along coastlines or in wet climates. The shelter must also manage rain and drainage, so you do not wake up soaked or flooded. Finally, shelter is not a standalone task. It supports every other survival decision you make. Once you have a protected place to rest, you can assess your situation more clearly, treat injuries, organize gear, conserve energy, and plan your next move. That is why experienced outdoors people treat shelter as a priority, not an afterthought. A person who is cold, exhausted, and exposed will make poor choices. A person who is sheltered has a much better chance of thinking clearly and acting effectively. At the end of the day, survival shelter is about more than putting up a barrier. It is about creating a safe space that helps you endure, recover, and adapt. Whether you're building a quick emergency setup or planning for a full night in the wild, the same rule applies. Get out of the elements, protect the body, and make the environment work for you instead of against you. That simple shift can make all the difference when conditions turn hostile.